The story opens in Vietnam. A gang forces their way into a family home. They want the young daughter and they're not asking nicely. Her parents fight back, desperate to protect her. The gang leader doesn't hesitate for even a second. He pulls out his gun and shoots them both dead right in front of her eyes, but it doesn't stop there. When she tries to run and throws his weapon into a fire, he walks over, retrieves it without flinching, and presses the hot barrel against her neck. He wants to leave a mark, something permanent. Years pass, and we see that same girl now fully grown, but something has changed completely. The roles have flipped. She is the one attacking, and he is the one desperately trying to survive. To understand how we got here, we need to go back to the beginning. A hospital in Dubai. A well-known businessman is bleeding out from a stomach wound and needs a donor urgently. The staff already have someone prepared and they begin extracting blood immediately. The doctor pulls the assistant aside and warns her clearly, continuing will kill the donor. She ignores him completely. Keep going until there is nothing left, then find someone new. The doctor pushes back. The golden blood type is incredibly rare. Only around 50 people in the entire world carry it. Losing this donor would be a serious problem. She ends the conversation. The donor doesn't matter, the boss must survive. And that rarity makes people like young Lan a target. A gang leader named Froyek traveled all the way to Vietnam specifically to kidnap her, to ship her to Dubai as a living blood supply. His plan falls apart at the last second. A car pulls up. 3 men step out: Bo, his assistant, and a doctor. They are also there for Lan, but their approach is completely different. They want to pay her family and take her peacefully. The moment Lan looks at Bo, she feels something strange, something calm. She runs toward him. Bo wipes out Froyek's men with ease, but Froyek himself slips away. Bo is worried. He warns his team they will come back for her. She needs serious protection. Lan wakes up with no idea where she is. Bangkok, an unfamiliar house, an unfamiliar language, total strangers surrounding her. She panics and starts smashing everything in sight. The members of House 89 gather around her and try to calm her down through a translation app, telling her she is safe, that she will live with them like family. Lan doesn't believe a single word. Everything she has been through makes trust impossible. Then something unexpected happens. Bo's son Bran grabs her bleeding hand to stop the wound, and the moment he touches her, something shifts. She feels safe. She calms down. Instantly, Bo notices this. From that day forward, he assigns Bran as her full-time protector. Her parents are gone. She has no one. Bran is now responsible for her. What Lan doesn't know is that Bo brought her here for a calculated reason. His son shares her rare blood type and suffers from a bleeding condition. She is not just a guest, she is a living blood bank. She agrees to stay quietly without knowing any of this. But beneath the surface, one thought never leaves her. She wants revenge on Froyek. She wants to make him pay with her own hands. Bran tries every way he can to help her feel at home. One rainy day, he grabs her hand and pulls her outside to play in the rain. Their friend Em calls out from a distance, warning them to come inside. But Lan pulls Em out too. She refuses to let anyone miss the moment. Years pass. The 3 of them grow up together, and that bond only gets deeper. Meanwhile, Froyek is hunting. He travels to India searching for another golden blood donor. He finds nothing. His frustration explodes, and he shoots the man beside him dead. Then he gets a call. His contact tells him to stop wasting time and go back for the girl he failed to take years ago. $20 million is waiting. Froyek pushes back. Finding her after all this time won't be easy. His contact cuts him off. 20 million, that is all he needs to hear. Back at House 89, Lan and Bran are watching him train in boxing. She's curious. She asks Bran why Em pushes himself so hard. Bran explains that every member of House 89 has a specific mission. Training is Em's mission. Lan asks what her mission is. Bran goes quiet and tells her his only job is to keep her safe. She fires back immediately. Keeping her locked inside for years, never letting her see the world, that's not protection, that's fear. Bran knows she's right, but he can't go against his father's orders, and meanwhile is struggling badly with his training. His coach tells him he is too slow, too predictable, no improvement in months. Then Bran steps in privately and gives him a key insight. The coach has memorized every single one of Em's patterns, and needs to become unpredictable. They train together in secret, Bran staying up with him until dawn, teaching him every technique he knows. Lan watches everything quietly. The next day, Em walks into training and applies it all, and his coach is stunned. He has no idea when or how this transformation happened. Lan's curiosity starts to grow. When she's alone, she begins copying every move she's seen them practice. She asks Bran, "What do you do against an opponent you've never faced before?" He tells her, stay back, let them attack more than once. Study their style before you make your move. That evening, Lan notices something that's been bothering her. Bo lets him go on real missions, but refuses to let his own son join. Bran tells her his father probably just doesn't want him to end up in that life. Then he turns the question around and asks her what she actually wants for herself. She thinks of Froyek. That is the only answer. She wants to finish him with her own hands. At dinner that night, a team member named Lena brings news of a new mission. A well-known businessman needs to be eliminated at a public event. The job is complicated. Another rival gang is also after the same target. Bo suggests sending him on the mission since his training has reached a solid level. Bran is genuinely happy for his friend, but deep inside he wishes his father trusted him the same way. Bo notices the look on his son's face and moves the meeting to a private room. That same night, Bran breaks the rules for the first time and asks Lan if she wants to go out together. She cannot believe it. She sprints to her closet and picks her best dress. When M sees her dressed up, he is stunned. It's the first time she's put real effort into her appearance. He feels something stir inside him because his feelings for her are real, but he already knows where her heart is. While the team heads out for the mission, Bran and Lan walk the streets together for the very first time. They buy food, then the weather turns suddenly and it starts to pour. They duck under the awning of a nearby antique shop. That shop is exactly where Froyek happens to be sitting making a deal. He glances up. He sees the scar on Lan's neck, the scar he made years ago. He recognizes her. Instantly, he follows them just far enough to watch which building she disappears into. He now knows she is inside House 89. He goes straight to Saba, the leader of the Mala gang, and makes him an offer. Eliminating House 89 means the entire market opens up, and Saba's profits double. Saba picks up the envelope. He agrees. The next morning, Bo confronts Bran. Taking Lan outside was dangerous. Her presence in the open could bring danger to all of them. Bran pushes back. He tells his father she deserves to see the world like anyone else and that looking after her is exactly what he was asked to do. Bo is not impressed. He warns Bran that 2 hidden training moves won't make him strong enough to protect her and tells him to follow orders without argument. Bran takes it personally. He reveals something that stops Bo cold, and the one Bo trusted enough to take on missions. Bran trained him. Every move, every technique, Bo's expression shifts, and then something slips out of him. There are powerful people out there willing to do anything to get to Lan because of her blood. Bran is shocked. His father brought her here specifically to exploit her, and in that moment, Bran makes his decision. He goes to Lan's room and tells her to get ready tonight. When everyone is asleep, they're escaping together. But on the other side of the city, the Mala gang is already moving. 5 cars, Froyek among them, closing in on House 89. They hack the building's security system and slip inside undetected. Lan sends Bran a message. She's ready to move, but before she can even reach the door, it explodes right in front of her. She's thrown to the back of the room. Froyek steps inside and finds her there and orders his men not to touch her. She's too important. But Bran arrives at that exact moment, opens fire, grabs Lan and runs. Within seconds, the entire Mala gang floods the building. Bran moves step by step with Lan at his side, gun in hand, eyes forward, but every few seconds another wall explodes and more men pour in. Then Lan sees Froyek directly in front of her. She recognizes him instantly. This is the man who destroyed her life. She rips the gun from Bran's hand and fires wildly, desperately. Froyek escapes easily. Bran pulls her back and reminds her their only priority right now is getting out alive. Then out of nowhere, Saba hits Bran from behind with a sharp weapon straight into his shoulder. He grabs Lan and raises his weapon to finish what he started, but Bo bursts in and shoots Saba to protect his son, and Bo takes a bullet to the side in the process. The rest of the team arrives, throwing smoke grenades to blind the attackers. They grab each other and sprint into the medical room. The door slams shut behind them. Inside the medical room, Bo's assistant grabs Lan and ties her to the bed, hands and feet, and no matter how hard she fights, the restraints hold. Em stands there confused, still ready to defend her, but Bo himself gives the order to move Bran to the bed right beside her. And here, the full truth finally comes out. Bo didn't bring Lan in out of kindness. His son Bran shares her rare blood type and suffers from a bleeding condition. She wasn't brought here as family. She was brought here as a living, breathing blood bank. When Lan understands what's happening around her, she breaks down completely. This is the last thing she ever imagined. Bran, from his own bed, keeps refusing over and over, telling them he wants nothing from her, but his injury makes it impossible to fight back. Outside, the Mala gang has broken through to the final barrier. Bo wraps a bandage tightly around his own wound and keeps moving. He needs numbers. And for the very first time, he looks at his son and acknowledges what he's truly capable of. He hands Bran a gun and asks him one question. Are you ready to stand beside your father? Bran can barely believe the moment has finally come. Outside the room, the gang spots something unsettling, a dark red liquid slowly creeping out from under the door. They step back, fast, they know exactly what comes next. The liquid ignites a wall of fire. They scatter before it reaches them, and that is the opening the team needed. They burst out and push all the way to the back gate, but the gate won't open. Mala controls the entire building system. Bo has only one option. He goes back inside alone to shut it down at the source. Bran sees how many men are waiting and calls out for his father to stop. Bo doesn't look back. He doesn't say a word. He just keeps walking. He takes bullet after bullet. He goes down. The assistant grabs Bran by force and drags him to the car, telling him his father gave his life so they could live. Don't waste it. They drive away, fast. Froyek enters the medical room and discovers the truth during the chaos. They manage to transfer Lan's blood type into Bran's body. He is furious. He has now lost her, twice. The next day, they're hiding in a secret house by the sea. Lan has reached her limit. She tries to run. Em goes after her, finds her on the shore, and tells her none of this is her fault. He and Bran never knew what Bo was planning. She has always been family to them. Always. She calms down and agrees to stay. When Bran recovers, he asks about the money Bo had set aside in Lan's name. He wants to find her somewhere safe, far from all of this. The assistant tells him the truth. There is no safe place. Wherever she goes, they will find her. The only safety she has is with them. On top of that, the Mala gang cannot return to business until House 89 is finished for good. That is the rule. One gang must win. It ends only when one side is completely gone. Bran sits with Lan and tells her everything. The day he was planning to help her escape, that was the same day he found out about her blood type. He apologizes for all of it. Lan is quiet for a moment. Then she tells him the most painful thing about all of this. She has lost 2 families because of who she is. Her first family died because of her blood. Her second family fell apart the same way. Since no place will ever truly be safe for her, she has made a decision. She doesn't want to be protected anymore. She wants to become her own protection. She asks Bran to teach her how. Bran brings the idea to Am, the assistant, and the uncle, the ones who remain. The uncle refuses immediately. Getting to a real skill level takes 3 to 4 years minimum. What she's asking is practically impossible, but Bran holds firm she can't spend the rest of her life living under their protection by force. She deserves a real life like anyone else. Lan doesn't wait for a vote. She launches herself at him right there, using every move she has quietly memorized. She hits the floor after he counters her. Bran looks at her and gives her an honest assessment. She thinks fast. Her instincts are decent, but her legs and punches are weak. Speed and flexibility need serious work. If she's truly ready to push through, they are all in. From that day forward, Lan trains without stopping. The uncle teaches her first aid. The assistant transfers everything he knows about weapons and blades. When Bran fully recovers, he takes over boxing and self-defense. Lan uses every moment alone to keep practicing. One night, Bran and him walk into her room and find her asleep on the floor next to her food, passed out from exhaustion. They carry her to the bed and quietly leave. Outside, Bran pulls Em aside. If anything ever happens to him, he wants Em to protect her no matter what. Em is hurt by the request. They're closer than brothers. He tries to brush it off, telling Bran that the Mala gang won't even find them here. Meanwhile, Froyek tracks down the car dealership where the team sold their vehicle months ago. The paperwork tells him it happened 2 months back. He asks one question. After they sold the car, where exactly did they go that evening? Bran finds Lan in the garden trying to practice her aim. She keeps missing. He uses it as an excuse to teach her, walking her through every mistake, every weak point, showing her exactly where to strike to end a fight with a single shot. He tells her something else too: when you can protect yourself on your own. You can stay with us by choice, not by force. That night, something shifts between them. They spend the night together. The next morning, over breakfast, Lan asks the question that's been sitting in her mind. If they want to actually live freely, what are their options? Em lays it out plainly. Run and hide, and they'll always be found eventually. Face them directly and either lose everything or win, and finally live normally. Bran agrees with the second option without hesitation. The assistant pushes back. How are they supposed to attack a full gang with so few people? Bran's answer is simple. They're not going to attack. They're going to make the gang come to them. By midday, Froyek and the Mala gang pull up outside the building in multiple cars. They found them. When they enter, they spot a bus sitting completely still. Then it starts moving on its own and stops right behind them. They approach slowly, and then it explodes directly in their faces. Bran had already paid the car dealer to alert him the moment anyone came asking questions. They were ready. They were waiting. The team is spread across multiple floors, firing from every angle. Froyek spots Lan among those shooting and completely loses control. He wanted to take her quietly. That plan is finished. He charges straight toward her. Meanwhile, the assistant is cutting through Mala fighters one after another. until suddenly a sharp blow severs his leg entirely. He loses balance and crashes to the floor. A second attacker closes in and hits him again. The assistant, true to his character until the very end, reaches into his pocket, pulls out a cigarette and lights it as his last breath leaves him. At that exact moment, Bran watches Saba's man shoot the uncle and kill him. He charges forward in a rage, but M gets there first. He grabs a piece of broken glass and drives it across the man's throat and doesn't stop until he stops moving. Saba sees his man go down, grabs a rifle and opens fire in every direction. Bran takes him out cleanly, calmly, and then there is Lan, facing Froyek directly, both of them holding blades. She does exactly what she was taught. She lets him attack first. She studies him, she reads the pattern, then she moves. She lands 2 clean strikes on his body, and for the first time, she feels like justice has been served for everyone she lost. The 3 of them sprint to the car and go, but before they can breathe, Lan takes a bullet to the shoulder from inside the vehicle. Saba is still alive, still coming, and floors it, but Lan is bleeding badly, and fast. Bran tells him to pull over immediately. If they wait to reach a hospital, there is a real chance she doesn't make it. M refuses. He knows what a donation will do to Bran given his condition. Bran doesn't care. He starts the transfer anyway. Then Saba rams into their car. M steps out to face him alone. He locks the car door behind him and tells Bran to stay with her. Saba tears into him, wound after wound across his body, but M refuses to fall. He has one goal: take Saba down and make sure his friends are safe. He gives everything. Until they both go down together. Both of them gone. Bran breaks down. He was not ready to lose his closest friend, and because of the donation, his own body begins to react. A rash spreads across his skin and he starts bleeding from his nose. He looks at Lan one last time, he says goodbye and closes his eyes. When morning comes, Lan wakes up and she realizes she has lost the 2 most important people in her life in a single night. Years pass. We see Lan now a mother. She is training her son in marksmanship, the son she had with Bran. He has inherited the golden blood type too, but he is being raised to protect himself. He will never need to depend on anyone else. Meanwhile, Froyek is sitting across from a client at a private deal selling a rare weapon, acting like a man with nothing to fear. The 2 strikes Lan landed on him clearly weren't enough. He is still alive, still operating, completely fine. He hands the case across the table to the client. The client opens it, and from behind him, Lan appears. She takes his head off without a word, making absolutely certain that this time there is no coming back.